Alrighty, welcome back to what could be the final game of this semi-final series here. Our first one in the KeSPA Cup 2020. DAMWON Gaming now leading 2-1. Hanwha Life still putting up a hell of a fight, you know. Good, solid game for them there in game number 3. But they couldn't get across the finish line. They could not take us to match point in their favor. So now DAMWON, if they can close out game number 4, they will be punching their ticket into that grand final.
Yeah, and they did it in about 42 minutes. It wasn't the easiest game up against Hanwha Life or anything like that.
Yep.
I think they adapted really nicely to the pick ban after they lost game number 2. They mixed it up a little bit. They brought in the Senna, which I don't think Hanwha Life were expecting at all.
We definitely weren't.
No, and it worked out really well. And on the side of Hanwha Life, I mean, they had Chovy, who did about 40,000 damage. It was like 1K per minute, which is kind of like normal Chovy numbers.
He was pretty damn close to it, yeah.
He wasn't able to do it all alone. Like, he could probably kill everybody on their side, but still have some issues.
We will continue to rotate through the junglers. Cat having a very good first game when he came in for game number 2. Then, you know, still being strong overall on the Lilia, but looks like they're going to be changing up styles here as Arthur will be stepping in again.
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty clear for the side of Hanwha Life that if you bring Chovy and Deft in, they're going to have to build up some young talent alongside them, right? Because they're going to command some big contracts. You're going to have to, you know, try to build up some new names. And I think for the jungle role, that is exactly what's going on right now. It's like a revolving door. Who's playing well on that day? I don't think they really have a main starting jungler right now because we're getting to the point in the KeSPA Cup where, you know, it's not the group stage. We're not just, like, throwing in our academy roster, like KT, you know, like, give him a shot and see what happens. Like, no, they're like, who's going to give us the best chance to win? They're going to give Arthur a shot, and he will be their third jungle that comes out here. And I'm curious to see how it will go as Damon's on blue again.
Yep. And does Arthur just play Nidalee again like he kind of always has been when he comes in? Seems like he's playing that more often than he isn't. For now, ban's going to go, pretty similarly to what we saw just last game. Samira, Pantheon, do they just ban the Renekton yet again? Take that away. They do.
Yeah, I think probably going to be similar stuff here. Now, again, Hanwha, they're just going to ban away the Graves. So this time they're like, okay, let's see it, Showmaker.
The Akali is available, and there you have it. Hubbard locked in, ready to go.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise there. Akali's good. She's really good right now.
Yep.
And Showmaker was always one of our best Akalis. Now, we're going to see Chovy hop straight onto Zoe alongside of the Olaf. So, looking for a very strong and oppressive mid-jungle combo right from the get-go to try to take some power away, I suppose, from what should be a mid-Akali.
Where do you want to go as far as the jungle is concerned now for Canyon? Talia has previously, not so much in this series so far, been a pretty powerful pick, has been present a lot in the drafts, whether it's banned or selected, but haven't seen it yet. See what exactly he wants to get done. I kind of just trust anything that Canyon puts as, you know, just takes.
Yeah. Are they going to go ahead and pick the jungle here? I almost was expecting it, but they got to question, you know, do we prioritize picking up some other kind of AD carry? Because they could expect a Senna ban this time around in Phase 2. It was pretty obvious. So if you skip AD carry, they would probably just, you know, ban Kai'Sa, ban Senna after picking MF on the side of Hanwha Life. So
clearly, you just play Twitch then.
Yeah. So Damon were like, I guess we got to pick this right here. This Aatrox priority, very, very interesting. I mean, that's pretty early on. We've seen some Aatroxes in the series. They were both in the second phase of picks, but really wanted to get that here before the second phase of bans, I suppose, for Hanwha.
Still a good amount that can be limited by these bans here. Someone it's you know, do they want to go more for the ADC or the support? Because personally, I think given what Def showed with the Twitch, I would try to focus bans his way, perhaps. But you could also go for the support pool since you do have the Maokai already locked in for barrel.
That's really the question. If there's some big support you don't want to play against, and it looks like it is Leona. Leona can be very annoying, especially early on before the Maokai picks up any tanky items. He's a bit squishy, so you got to be careful to just not get one comboed. They ban away one jungle, and then they ban away Jace. They do not want to have Khan on Jace against Aatrox once again in the top lane, and so they will expend a ban for that.
Well, it seems like DAMWON not really concerned about the ADC pool of depth, and this would be truly a bit of a shocker. Like, a Kog'Maw versus an Akali?
Oh, he locked it.
And he locks it. Okay.
Depth is a little bit of a hover troll. He's one of our hover trolls in the LCK, and I thought he was just trolling, but, I mean, this is going to be Kog'Maw. He is 100% serious.
Okay. Color me surprised. Deft is going to be breaking out the Kog'Maw first. Anything to do with Kog'Maw of the tournament. We haven't seen it hovered. We have not seen it banned. Have not seen it picked. And Deft out of left field brings us, and it looks like it's going to be Khan with the Akali in the top lane instead. And oh boy, okay. Lulu Kog'Maw, the old classic bot lane.
Yeah.
Gonna be coming out here for Hanwha Life. Man, this is quite a throwback.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting draft too, because this is part of the reason why League of Legends best of fives are really fun too, because they just develop. They develop every single game. People learn stuff. They feel comfortable with some picks, some bans. Kog Lulu is just something we don't really see. I mean, it's like a tank support meta nowadays. And you just don't see many range supports in general, but a bit of a throwback, as you mentioned. They're trying to go with a hyper carry for depth. Not always a bad idea. I feel like, you know, they get some support for Chovy as well, try to get Arthur ahead and, you know, have that duo power with Zoe Olaf. Full steam ahead, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, with less priority on Canyon's pick to the point where he had to go for the Kha'Zix here at the end. Is he going to have as much presence as he has had in some of these other games? I'm not so sure, but, you know, I'm always willing to let Canyon surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, and he'll likely be surprising a lot of people because he's probably going to pick up the Duskblade, have, you know, that near 100% invis uptime as long as he's getting those final blows in the team fights, can really weave in and out and make sure that he's getting the assassination. So I, for one, am very excited to see Canyon with this Kha'Zix pick. Little bit of a sigh seeing Syndra for Showmaker.
Yeah.
Yet again. It's like, can we move on to something different? But at the same time, I do get it. You want to have that scout of the week, get those stuns coming in, and then be able to pile in on top of targets like the Kog'Maw, dissuade targets like the Aatrox from pushing in. But guys, let's see. It's been a crazy draft. Let's hopefully get a crazy game number 4 as we jump back onto Summoner's Rift. And already,
We've seen this before.
Yeah. A little bit different this time around, though. Not playing the Jhin. That's going to get spotted. Vista's there. They're on a ward.
That's a cool skin. I guess that must be one of the new ones.
Yeah, I don't know. What has he got on his back? Is it like a little box, the button on it? I couldn't quite tell.
I know. You don't see that one every day. Kind of does look like that.
Yeah, where's my Pugmaw?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's just a good skin. I mean,
yeah, he barks every time he attacks when he has his W
and then when
active.
you get that such like stupid attack speed, ratings, it's just constantly barking. He's gonna play forward in the brush for now.
And Beryl is slowly coming down. Not here yet. It'll be interesting to see how they do against what could be an oppressive lane here. Deft and Vista on Kog Lulu with their tank support. They do have the MF. Try to shore up some of that lane presence, but Lulu is definitely going to be pretty annoying.
This makes me wonder how much practice they have with this combination. Obviously, like, you know, we mentioned this is a classic bot lane duo, the Kog'Maw and the Lulu, but still super surprising to see it come out.
And it seems like so far the lane is feeling pretty good for themselves. Just slowly getting the level 2 first. Able to push on in, deft. Very impressive, of course, with his W autos. And Canyon, of course, another guy we need to look at. How is this going to work out? He, you know, one-on-one, if he's doing the shenanigans you mentioned, you know, he can go Duskblade. Gone in a little bit of trouble here. This is awkward.
Yeah.
Able to get out of there before the Q cooldown comes back up from the Aatrox, but still having a rough time in the lane.
Oof. Narrowly avoided. Taking a glance back through, Def has played Kog'Maw a bit ago, but not from what I'm seeing on this patch. So it's been around a month since the last time that he's played Kog'Maw in solo queue.
I'm sure they, you know, they probably played it a couple of times, at least in scrims every once in a while. I would imagine that some teams are trying it.
I sure as hell hope so before he brings it out here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe they're just like, oh, no, like, we remember.
Yeah. It'll, yeah, it's like riding a bike. Can you possibly forget? I
mean, it is Def, so
yep.
Hyper carry style player, I suppose, that he could just do it. And,
from what I can tell, it seems like he does very much like building the Kraken Slayer, so.
Yeah, I mean, kind of makes sense. You're going to be attacking pretty fast, so go ahead and do that. Canyon here, just so far, just hardcore farming. I would imagine, you know, 1v1 or 2v2 scenarios, this Kha'Zix can be pretty nice. When you're going up against an Olaf that has wild growth, and you're just getting kind of run down, you're not going to have a fun time. But, you know, the idea, I suppose, is to try to get into that back line and open up onto either Zoe or the Kog'Maw.
Just going to be dropping a ward there for himself. Infernal changes out, says, okay, well, I don't really have to move too much. Just going back and forth here with this Aatrox.
Yeah, seems like he's been able to sustain up a bit better, even, than Morgan. Barrel, ooh, he got like 2 or 3 of those popcorn chicken. The saplings, you know, they don't last for so long. I think it's like 60 seconds, maybe 30 seconds.
Like 45 to 60 seconds.
Yeah,
like that, I think.
But I mean, if you get the timing right, and you know your AD carry is going to back soon, or you kind of, you know, you get to the lane first, or you would, you can always come mid and just help out a little bit. You throw down a sapling in the brush, it's always going to kind of ward off any junglers that do make their way into that brush.
Yep. Deft can get a little aggro. Beats out the Maokai Q's, doesn't get slowed up.
And it's, you know, kind of free damage, right? There's no real way other than Ghost trying to throw his own kind of poke out there where they can actually fight up against this. So every time the W is up for the Kog'Maw, he can push forward, get a shield, get a Whimsy. And they just kind of have to take it with a Maokai support.
Yeah, it's going to be drastically different this game for Barrel as well. He's not going to be getting any kind of amplified build coming through from the support Senna, so he is going to be a lot squishier for a lot longer. So he has to really think about how he's playing around his engages and what targets are nearby. Potentially kill him off pretty easily. Dragon, it does go the way of Hanwha Light, picking up a Cloud Drake, and it will be Infernal next, so Ocean or Mountain Soul.
And you see here in the mid lane, of course, Syndra that got picked after the Zoe, just trying to mix it up a little bit, is, you know, it's kind of obvious, again, where the portal jump is going to land you. It's why we saw a lot of Orianna in 2020 up against the Zoe when she was actually being played earlier on in the year. You just kind of you can get these very consistent shockwaves because you know where she's going to pop back to. Especially in team fights, you can kind of be like, okay, she pops forward, and the second she does, you immediately engage with your team and try to land a big shockwave onto her and just pick the Zoe just like that. So same kind of idea 1v1 with Scatter the Weak. If she is a little bit too close to you, she misses her stuff, you can just land that stun and get a very reliable combo onto the Zoe. And it seems like Showmaker felt a lot more safe and better about that matchup into the Zoe, especially when it's Chovy. I mean, this guy is going to have insane mechanics on that champion, so Akali a little bit more finesse required, I guess, to handle that.
Yep. Go for it.
Yeah, Morgan stands still, just like baiting it. He's like,
Dive
I dare you.
Yeah. Come on in here.
He's died very quickly.
He's got to juke all 5 of Aatrox's abilities.
Just juke the turret
Few
shots.
iterations. Yeah.
Just, you know.
Well, you used to be able to do that. Oh, jump over the wall. Doing a lot of damage, but Kenny should be very well familiar with how things go when you weaken. And Olaf goes to the side, will take the blast cone out, will jump over the wall. Double Bubble will just connect in onto the Rift Herald, which can't start up yet again. Can they commit to this, however, is the question. Vista not yet level 6. Cannot ulti anybody to pop them up.
I mentioned the Zoe mechanics. That's the most important one right there. You got to roll redemptions. That's the best mechanic that you got to be good at if you're going to play a lot of Zoe.
Get a redemption, just toss it out there.
Yeah.
Nuke some minions, heal your teammates, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, it's one of the lasting RNG elements that is pretty frustrating. That and Ignite can be really annoying. Yeah. Especially in certain matchups, you just pop forward and more sparkles ignite someone. It's like, okay, well, I guess I just lose this trade. Like, I guess I just have to back away.
Well, unable to finish the Rift Herald and too low to proceed forward, it will just be scooped up by Arthur.
First time.
So, yeah, Rift Herald lost for DAMWON Gaming.
Yeah. That is the 7th Rift Herald of the series, and it is the first one that Hanwha Life do pick up. I guess Arthur is now the starting.
Congratulations.
Now the starting jungler for Hanwha Life.
Yep.
You deserve it.
You've got first seat. It's like an orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
First seat jungler.
This reminds me of Whiplash.
Yeah.
Like, guy plays like one.
Come turn my pages for me.
One measure. It's like nope. You just like kick him out,
rotate
sub
him
him out. Doesn't get to play for like the next 4 games.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not all Arthur. I think it was mostly the redemption, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely help.
Kind of gave the tempo for Canyon to have to go back and Hanwha Life to step up with their support and be able to take that objective.
Well, for now, 10.5 minutes in, despite the minor skirmishing and meetings in the jungle. First blood going to be eluding us. It's going to be a slight little 400 gold lead. So for DAMWON.
Feels like we're back in the LCK.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. This is back to business as usual.
Yeah, it almost does feel like that though. Like as the tournament comes along, and as we get to the semifinals and everything gets a little bit more intense and meaningful, I suppose, that the players are just trying to play more and more perfect and not make any mistakes, so people don't give up first bloods as easily.
It's not about fun.
Less action.
It's about winning. Exactly.
That's what they're talking about. Now,
let's go back to tower swap meta.
Sure. Let's go back to
2016 summer. Why not?
Would Canyon actually consider jumping in on that? I don't think so.
Probably not. Khan, however, needs to be a little bit careful.
He's still got his ultimate available, so does Morgan. TP coming in. Canyon's still on the same control ward. I think they want the Zoe to, like, check over on the right side because the Infernal Drake is about to spawn. So if he waits there long enough, maybe.
Oh, Morgan. And he jumped on, and that, okay, Khan just, he just hits the go button, and then he will find first blood. A solo kill onto Morgan. Canyon finally starting to retreat out of the, off the control ward. Will make his way over towards the Infernal Drake. Arthur is down here, however. He's coming out. They're pressing forward. Canyon's going to have to leap over the wall. Arthur has the level lead. So Smite will hit a little bit harder if it comes down to a fight.
Yeah, it seemed like Def was able to pick up some of the gold from the Rift Herald that was down on the bottom side, but that solo kill on the top is actually pretty massive because 1-0 now. He had to start the arm guard for the Akali to handle this lane, but getting that boost gets him to his first item a lot quicker. So you really want to have that Akali online for these, you know, these straight fights, for the team fights that eventually come in, and getting the kill, the extra CS.
He's also got a lot of solo plates up there.
Yeah, exactly.
3 have been taken. But here we go, Infernal is started up. They haven't spotted this yet, and it seems like okay. Yeah, it's just going to be taken by Hanwha Life, so they get up free, and it will be an Ocean Drake confirmed for us.
There was a ward in the back of the pit. I mean, they saw that it was happening. They just
did nothing.
Yeah, they couldn't get there on time, I guess. Maybe Canyon went back home and...
I don't think he did. He was still just kind of around the bot lane.
Krugs, maybe?
Yeah. I think he'd at least like run by, throw out a W, try to kill it with a void spike or something. But
well, now he's like...
invading on the red.
Yeah, he's getting into this kind of situation where he wants to invade, but Goredrinker's complete.
Yeah.
For Olaf,
Gotta be careful. Well, okay, so he gets the red buff. He's got plenty of time to exit.
Yeah, keep in mind the brush there is a little bit buggy. It's Ocean Rift, so there is some extra brush.
Yeah.
Just north of Canyon there, it extends below the red buff, but you can't fully see it in the spectator client.
Leaps over the wall into the Baron Pit. Well, we're going to take a long replay. Rewind back here.
So, just to break it down, Khan is just dancing around the Aatrox. You know, he looked weak, right? He was lower on health, but just the fact that he was able to hop in with his ultimate, he gains the extra health. He gains also range on the Aatrox, who wasn't really able to land much of anything. So Khan waits for the right exact moment, hops in, dances around the Aatrox, and makes him look silly. And now he's got the, what's that item called? The Rift Maker?
Yes.
Okay. So he gets it, you know, that's what I was talking about. He's got 140 CS now, he's 25 ahead of his lane opponents. He's got that and the arm guard compared to just Goredrinker from the Aatrox. And that Akali, there's a reason we see her banned. You guys are going to get to see another reason here in this game.
Oh. Goes an advance forward onto the Olaf, trying to lock him down. The Ragnarok gets popped, but there's just too much damage output coming through. The Syndra going to be able to get that kill. Deft shredded by the bullet time. Ooh. It actually doesn't even connect, but he is just zipping his way out of there, so Deft will be okay. Still holds on to the flash for now.
Ghost not really having the range there to flash on in. You could see he was desperately trying to close the gap. Morgan, I don't know if you can really do this. Now, Goredrinker first on Aatrox is pretty huge. You got all your cooldowns. You've got Conqueror. Yes, you can be an amazing skirmisher, but I mean, you did give that first kill to the Akali, so things kind of change a bit. Seems like he was looking for that fight.
He's going over the ward right now, so clearing out the control. The brush. Khan is aware of his position. Comes over the wall, gets one knock up. Arthur hovering nearby, doing his Krugs. Question is, can Morgan bait Khan in? Lure him into a false sense of security. Seems like the answer is going to be it's going to be going back to base, says Evan TP to if he needs to. Whereas Canyon says, you know what, Scuttlecrap be damned. I'm going to be taking this with you.
Just trying to take it there on the edge of the vision. Ghost. Oh, I like this. Jonah Strong pointing out that ward up to the top right of depth. So even a ping went out onto that one. So they were kind of considering, I mean, Khan could probably just teleport in and take one of those guys.
Destroy him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Exhausted instantly have to come out from this and try and keep him alive. Arthur down near bot, though. Okay. We'll just be able to force in and take this tower. So they will equalize the turret count. Opens up the bottom lane a bit here for the side of Hanwha Life, which is good. They get some wards and vision in behind the Dragon Pit, perhaps ahead of that next Ocean Drake spawn. This is Arthur dying for a red buff.
Yeah, I mean, they have vision in the brush. And he's like, yeah, I've got Ragnarok, I should be fine. But he was alone, he got queued by Canyon. He took a big burst damage from that, but also the Syndra just gets a free full combo. And just a bit of greed over the red buff, pretty simple there.
Gets killed with the red buff that he was trying to take.
Yeah, now he's got to turn
smacks him over the head
for CAD. He loses that first seat jungle.
Rotate him out. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that does damage.
Yeah, Chovy's back again. This is like the 4th game of the same thing.
Yep. Roteral's going to be thrown down here into the mid lane. Barrel flashes away. Def's going to be lobbing out Spittle, some loading artillery to try to chunk out several members. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does connect onto Khan. What's the follow-up yet? Bullet time goes out. Quite a bit of damage now onto Arthur as he starts to get zoned away from the Dragon. Knockdown's coming through from Morgan. Flash forward from Showmaker. Looks to get the assassination on the Def. Khan goes in deep. He's trying to finish him off, and he will be able to do so. The Ocean Drake now goes over to the side of DAMWON. Khan zipping forward, finds himself a triple kill. Chovy and Morgan will have to exit. Huge play here from DAMWON Gaming. They finally get a Dragon on the board. They move up 5-1.
Yeah, that's one of those classic scenarios where the enemy team is either split up 4-1 or 3-2, which is what more often does happen, the 3-2 split, and you just choose a side and you engage.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what DAMWON did. I mean, the Twisted Advance comes in, and Hanwha Life's like, well, we can't really get away from this. They could have backed out here. This is the one moment where you're like, okay, we should just give up this Drake. I mean, it is just one Ocean Drake, but they stick around, and eventually you're going to have everybody flash on you. And there's, like, the Zoe and the Aatrox are just not here. Exhaust can only do so much, but again, it's the First Blood Akali who is really fed from the top lane that just engages on all 3 of you that are helpless because you don't have a front line first of all, really, with this comp. Yes, you know, you have 2 bruisers, but it's not the same, and they're all split up.
Yeah, and the Exhaust does absolutely nothing as well because they have to keep running away from the Akali. He's so fast that he runs fast enough even with the Exhaust rolling. He just waits for that to expire as Canyon out is going to jump on top of Vista, and they absolutely body him. Showmaker will find the final blow. Canyon pops out of stuff yet again. This time will get Def, who is going to charge forward with the Acathian Surprise to try to get a bit of damage on Showmaker, but is nowhere close to killing him.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a problem now. I mean, you have an opportunity to try to scale way into the late game, but now you're up against 4-0 Akali, you're up against 2-0 and 3 Syndra. Even the Kha'Zix is getting value.
If I recall correctly, and I could be wrong as we'll just watch them get destroyed again, I feel like there was more to the Cogmaw Lulu lane that we had, like where
the comp.
Yeah, like the overall comp, because it was very much about empowering the Cogmaw. So
yeah, but you also had like 3 tanks in the front line.
I think I also had like some shielding coming in from the mid lane, like Orianna, because you could use command protect and whatnot on him.
And then you go like tanky jungle, tanky top.
Yeah.
That was a pretty common one. You could go like Olaf and then maybe like a Galio in the mid lane. Yeah. That's like more of a modern version.
True.
With like a, I don't know, like an Ornn or some kind of beefy boy up in the top side. There's many different variations, but, you know, similar idea as Ghost's just going to use everything to clear this out, make sure he doesn't get pushed on. But it does kind of feel like Hanwha Life, you know, they got a bit broken up after that Ocean Drake. They were split up on the fight, and then they were split up on the map on the top side, and you're just given so much value over the side of DAMWON. Yes, you do have that extreme late game 6-item Cogmaw where there is some potential for him to just 1v5, but, you know, 4-0 Akali. Yeah. And she's pretty busted right now. There's a reason why she gets banned every game with that Rift Maker. It's pretty insane. I don't know if they're going to be able to actually protect this Cogmaw even in the super late game.
No. I'm going to guess just absolutely not. Unless they can really level up their play, or if Chovy can just assassinate people before the fights even get close to starting. Minute 20 for that next Ocean Drake. And Baron chilling out on the map for now. Mythics getting completed across the board. Right now it's just going to be Beryl, the only one who's lacking.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, because it is kind of a classic comp with a modern feel with like all the new items and stuff, it'll be interesting to see what they build. We already mentioned how the comp is not, you know, like perfect. You know, protect the Cogmaw comp or anything like that, but also shield bow first means that Death needs about 20 minutes. So,
yeah, it's going to be a little while.
The fact that he has to go shield bow and try to survive against the double assassin, essentially, on the side of DAMWON, is a bit of a problem. He needs a lot of time and a lot of gold, and I don't think, you know, DAMWON is too experienced against this as well. I mean, they're just going to a non-stop push, and they're going to try to end the game before it gets even close.
Yeah, Jovi is clearing out the wave, but the turret's still going to be broken down. 5.6 thousand gold now, the lead for DAMWON. Def will be able to kill off this tower up in the top lane, but like you mentioned, he still needs so much more. The lacking of the Kraken Slayer is just such a feels bad, but we're looking for the key items. The Ginsu's now coming online, but you know, potentially the Runan's Hurricane is another one that you want to be looking for, and then you need to build more damage items on top of all of that. So he is still very far away from becoming Pogmaw.
Yeah.
I guess.
Pogmaw.
Why not?
Yeah. That's one of them.
Oh,
and
Ocean Drake is gone.
Yeah, that's 2 now for the side of DAMWON. Feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah. Beryl and Han, especially, just with potentially quadruple Ocean Drakes. Disengage out of a fight by using your Shroud, or just walk away as the Maokai, and then come back in 5 seconds later with full HP.
The amount of burst damage they're going to have with Imperial Mandate and a colleague Kha'Zix's Syndrome is just insane. If anyone gets caught by Maokai, or by anyone really, they're just going to die.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
And it's pretty much unavoidable. I mean, he can either use his W, he could like just twisting advance on you, or he can use Nature's Grasp and just have the slow, you know, moving vines to cover a zone. So you're either completely pushed away from a fight or from an objective, or you get rooted and then you die.
Yeah.
Which do you want it to be?
I don't know if there's really any way for Hanwha Life to protect this Cogmaw.
There's absolutely not. I think they just kind of have to back away. Barrel's now in a position where if he had to, he could throw the ult out. He'll be able to hold on to that Nature's Grasp for a bit longer.
Well.
This is where...
Yeah. Hanwha Life know that they need tons and tons of time. They're kind of doing the Janair thing, where actually Jovi might just die.
Yeah, potentially. Sleepy Trouble Bubble will buy a little bit more time. Nature's Grasp running through. Arthur trying to dive in front, but doesn't go far enough to actually get the connection on the Jovi, so he will be okay. But that is just showing how much damage this Kha'Zix can push out in a very short period of time, and that's just with 2 items completed.
It's pretty crazy what he can do. He'll get even more as we do move along. Jovi has had some insane farming, as he always does. 309 CS here at 26 minutes, and he's getting even more. I wonder how much of this you want to just start feeding to the Cogmaw.
Yeah, I mean, I would guesstimate most of it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe get your next item completion in, whether that's you know, the Zonias or one of the bigger ticket items like the Rapid Death Cap.
Seems like the play for him now.
Yeah, just try to feed everything into Deft from there on out. Treat him like Season 2 double lift.
Yeah. At the same time, it's like if you have Jovi to potentially burst one of these really squishy members on the side of DAMWON out of the fight before it even starts, that it's kind of like a secondary win condition, because as we mentioned, I don't know if they have any way really to protect this Cogmaw well, at least.
Beryl doesn't have the Nature's Grasp yet. They're falling lower and lower. Arthur throws out the undertow, flashes into the pit. He looks for the steal. He's not going to be able to find it. He is just going to get absolutely blown up.
Where'd he
now
go?
Vista going down as well. That is the power of the Kog'Maw with the Duskblade. Absolutely decimates the Olaf. Canyon's still going to be zipping forward, but they have their eyes set on this mid lane. He will wrap around the side and look for an easy pick-off target. Doesn't find one yet. Rejoins in with the squad. Split push coming in. 3 in mid, 2 in top to break down these inhibs and look to finish the game. 10-1 the scoreline here. There's 27.5 minutes on the board as the first inhibitors will fall, and maybe the last inhibitors as well. Could very well just be over. 10 seconds on Deft. Arthur respawns. Gets back in. Inhibs will fall. Baron and Power minions still going to be pushing up into the base, but Canyon says, nope, we have to get the hell out of here. And we'll back off and get ready for the Ocean Drake in 40 seconds.
Yeah. Let's go over the fight. I just want you to watch how fast the Olaf dies.
Give us a .25 speed, please.
Yeah. Just. Where'd he go?
He had like 40% HP and he just disappears.
And then the poor Lulu's like, I'll protect the Kog'Maw.
Nope.
Doesn't actually work, even though he dies in about 0.25 seconds.
Yep.
The Kog'Maw immediately follows.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That was the best
scan.
That was the best scan of his life right there.
Yeah. Knew he was in danger. And yeah, I mean, DAMWON essentially, they've got so many assassins that are so fed that it is beginning to feel a little bit like a circus here in this game. It's like nobody on the side of Hanwha Life can do anything, and it's so wild in these team fights because everybody on the side of DAMWON just jumps in and essentially smashes them.
Yeah.
Third Ocean Drake here.
Which is just even more brutal now with the mana regen coming through. Gotta go clear out the top wave. This is the good thing for Depth. He's got plenty of minions to kill.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
You know, just freeze up the mid and top lanes at the same time and just sit there for another 15-ish minutes.
Why? You know what? Go longer.
Yeah.
Go for 45.
And obviously DAMWON with Baron, they're not going to let...
Oh.
No.
Yep, Nature's Grasp across the way. Full time use as well. Decent amount of damage on the Depth, but he's going to be alive for the moment. Khan.
Oh, man.
Just completely solo flanking. Look at that chunk that he just hit on the Morgan.
Where does health go?
Good lord.
He's making it very clear that nobody...
They're not able to play this game.
Nobody can play or not ban Akali against this team.
No, they cannot. That's going to be Depth instantly deleted. Caspian Surprise not going to be able to get too much done. Bot lane completely dismantled. Khan goes invisible. Chovy goes into the grave. The jump forward there from Canyon finds the kill. Morgan does manage to trade back. Gets rid of 2. He's looking for a bit more. A triple kill. Takes out the Maokai. He's still full HP. Khan and Showmaker need to get the hell out of the base. And Morgan keeps the game going.
Are you kidding me? This guy, he just took a big gulp of gore right there.
Oh,
just
man.
Immediately ending their world. And after this, you're just like, okay, game over, GG.
Yeah.
Just, you know, high fives all around. I guess that's good. That's it. But Morgan got pretty angry. Even started off using his flash early on. And he nearly got burst down, but avoids everything.
Look at this. Oh, man.
Full health. And
disgusting
it's like
regen.
DAMWON are just like, they're like stunned. What? I thought you were just going to win.
Yeah.
Like, isn't this just going to be another team we roll over? I mean, they might still, but Morgan making it interesting here at the end.
Well, worth noting that it's still going to be a 9.6 thousand gold deficit for Hanwha Life. Despite Morgan's heroics, he will keep the game going, but it is triple super creep waves shoving into the base. So
just more gold for Kog'Maw.
This is true. I mean, you know, this isn't that far off from when Teddy on Jin Air was playing Sipper and then became the turret laser, as we kind of dubbed him.
Fountain laser.
Fountain laser, yeah. You know, it's a little bit similar to that. Not as good as Wave Clear, though, overall for Depth. So he can get some more items in. Nexus turret's under a little bit of fire. Good damage on the Khan, though.
Yeah, onto Khan and onto Canyon.
But problem is, 3 Ocean Drakes. So just give him a minute. He'll be back in there.
Deft is beginning to chunk. But there might just be too many minions. Let's see how they handle this here.
They're doing their damage, trying to clear this out. Morgan pushing up near the front. Scatter the weak stun goes there onto Arthur. He'll get taken down to about half HP. Can pull back over to the Fountain Con, flying right up in front of Morgan's face. A little bit of HP, back dives in, and that is Morgan gone. The full time completely splits across the remaining members of Hanwha, and with the Nexus exposed, that will just be the end of the game. Deft tries to stay alive, but he cannot. They kill him off at the end. The portal jump from Chovy takes him back to the front. And 19-5 in 32 minutes, just shy of 33. DAMWON will take down Hanwha Life. They will advance into the KeSPA Cup 2020 Grand Finals.
Yeah, I mean, we expected that for sure, but at the same time, props to Hanwha Life for making it really interesting. Obviously, Chovy picking up the Yone and stealing a game away from them, and they went ahead and tried the Kog'Maw carry there from Deft in that final game. Didn't quite work out, but we had some fun times there. Even Morgan, 1v5ing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I think a lot of people thought that this was going to be a super washed series, that this was just going to be, completely one-sided. I believed in the 3-1 for Hanwha Life. They pulled it off, but it was even still more entertaining than I anticipated. Even though I already had given them credit for a win, they impressed me a lot more than I had expected, given just the constant swapping of junglers coming through. Like, there was only 2 games of consistency in the jungle when we had Cad back-to-back on Lilia. Otherwise, they swapped around every other game. And outside of Johan, I thought that, Arthur and Cad both looked pretty good.
Kind of want to forget that first game. I think he has moved down to the 3rd seat of the jungle. And, I mean, that was a pretty fun series as well. It was relatively back and forth. I came into today, honestly, just expecting Chovy to be sad again and Deft to be sad again, and it just to be a 3-0 to the side of DAMWON, but DAMWON did actually bleed, and we also saw that assassins are kind of able to be played.
At least specific ones.
Yeah, like we have Akali and Yone that seem to be pretty obvious. We have Kha'Zix that's poking his head up here. We had like a little bit of a assassin burst comp, if you will, from the side of DAMWON that time around with the Akali, Kha'Zix, but also the Syndra MF for some nice follow-up burst. And yeah, I kind of like the state of the game right now. I feel like all of these games are really interesting, even the long ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like that series really helped me realize that.
It seems like people just need to kind of expand and experiment a little bit more with the meta. It seems like there's things that are very much on the edge of the meta, such as this Kha'Zix. I don't really necessarily know if the Kog'Maw is on the edge of the meta. I think that one's definitely out of left field.
Yeah.
But the Kha'Zix especially, absolutely can work. Canyon was doing significant damage there. Granted, he is maybe the best jungler in the world, so he should be able to make just about anything work. But it seems like there is not, the hope for the Assassins isn't forgotten yet. There's still potential for them to come back in. The Yone looked good. The Kha'Zix looked good. Now we just have to get to, things like Zed. Bring that back into the map.
I don't know. How about like Kha'Zix mid? Let's bring that back.
Okay.
Who knows?
Ambition would like to unretire.
Yeah, let's bring him back here. As you mentioned, we still require experimentation, and I think with some of the changes to the items, new stuff will be available, new ideas, new lanes for old champions. We'll have to wait and see. I think that last game also with Khan just, we'll see how he does against like the tippy top level of top laners, but able to pretty easily secure a solo kill and then just pretty much single-handedly carry every single team fight after that means that nobody is ever allowed to not ban Akali against DAMWON and get our respect. You need to ban Akali against this team because it's not just Khan, it's Showmaker, which is what I was hyping in the draft, but then Khan's like, no, I'll just...
Showmaker's going to play Syndra for the 4th time in a row.
Yeah.
So
let me just go legendary by myself.
Yeah. It was good. Scary. I mean, Khan showing that he still is very much in form. He can play the tanks. He can play the more aggressive picks. So whether he's on this Akali or on the Ornn, you have to be concerned about him. And I think that Morgan, overall, especially after saving the game for, you know, a couple more minutes at least by holding him off. He's shown that he might very well end up being the starter over Dudu. Maybe if you want a hyper-aggressive player in the top lane on something like the Camille, you bring Dudu in. But otherwise, if you want to have some more consistency with the Ornn, with the Aatrox, play a bruisier style of play, then perhaps we'll be seeing more of him moving forward.
Yeah, I don't mind either of the top laners. I feel like they're both developing talented top laners that have a lot of potential for sure. The jungle is going to be interesting. I think that Vista and Deft and Chovy, they're all kind of just, they're all really good. Like, obviously Chovy and Deft, but I wanted to include Vista. Obviously, when he's getting destroyed on Lulu every single time in this game, it doesn't really show off his potential. But we've seen a lot of good stuff from Vista. I would probably put Cad number 1, Arthur 2, Johan 3rd. Would be my ranking for the jungle right now, but we'll have to wait and see how it, how it develops going into the LCK.
I can agree with that overall. On the whole, that's pretty much what has been most accurately represented throughout their run here in the KeSPA Cup. But all good things do come to an end. This is Def just getting absolutely blasted.
Even auto in that fight.
No.
He just died.
I guess I'll just die then.
Yeah. Here I go dying again. Can't help it.
Oh dear.
It wasn't even, sick. It was like a pick ban issue. Like I don't really get the Kog'Maw into Akali in the first place, but I suppose they didn't expect Akali to get this brokenly far ahead. As I wanted to see this damage too. I wanted to watch Morgan actually just get one shot. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to see Akali anymore. Let's
keep it banned.
Perma-ban. Let's global ban that thing.
Yeah, just keep it out of there. And yeah, I was talking about this with Slappy, and it is correct. Morgan is one of the Arthurian characters around King Arthur, so there's that synergy potentially out of
Morgan
the jungle.
and Arthur.
Yeah, Morgan Le Fay.
There you go.
One of the enchantresses, I believe, that was trying to kill Arthur actually.
Well,
so maybe it's weird to have them on the same team. But hey, look, Khan did a lot of damage.
Yeah, back to the point. Akali's broken.
I mean, good lord. That's just two astounding games in particular from Khan as far as what he's able to achieve in his own lane and individually on his carries. So the Jace and the Akali, both two very worrisome picks for people looking into the future of play in the LCK. Have those in the back of your mind when you're drafting against DAMWON Gaming. But there you go. They made them bleed. A 3-1 scoreline here as Hanwha Life does fall out of the KeSPA Cup. Now they can put their full focus on preparing for the 2021 split start here in, I'd imagine, a few weeks. I have no idea when it begins. But DAMWON Gaming, they do get to advance into the grand final versus, we don't know yet. There's still one more semifinal to be played, and that's going to be coming up tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll probably have a graphic for that in just a moment to
kind of jump the gun on that one.
I did, but
you're excited.
There's only so much to talk about.
It's
with
a very
DAMWON.
Exciting matchup.
But there you go. It's going to be KT Rolster versus Nongshim Red Force, and I am actually very excited for this game. I think that KT likely will take it, but Nongshim could certainly put up one hell of a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to watch this one. Nongshim, it was a very feisty best-of-3 they played against Liv Sandbox yesterday. Very close, very back and forth, but they were the victors in the end. As you're mentioning, I think KT are the favorites in that match, surprisingly looking really strong in this tournament, but we'll see how they do if they make it through against DAMWON, because I was saying today I felt like Hanwha Life was the biggest match out of the other three teams, and it ended up being a 3-1.
I'm going to throw it down 3-2. For KT.
Really?
I think
for KT? Okay. Well, we'll see if you are like
prediction.
The prophet.
I think KT is going to win that series, no matter what.
It's Seems like you were very impressed.
It's either a 3-2 or a 3-1, but I think it's going to be a 3-2. That's my official.
Oh,
prediction.
You're saying for this next one? I was talking about against DAMWON.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Okay.
This guy. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Versus Nongshim Red Force
okay, that
tomorrow.
Makes more sense. Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah.
KT Rolster.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Then they'll go on to play against DAMWON, and I think that it's still going to be a 3-1. I think that they will still drop one game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they even make it there,
Yeah.
and if Nongshim can kind of come in and maybe get the upset win over KT. It should be a very close match today.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow rather. I would expect.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for. None of those 3-0 blowouts, but that's going to do it from us, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Next semifinal tomorrow, same place, same time. We'll see you then.